Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What is up, everybody? We are talking Halloween. Before I even get into it, obviously I'm KillJoy Jake. My name is Darcy, but we're talking spoilers. Before we even get into anything, spoiler talk ahead. Be warned, my friends. If you have not seen this crazy movie, do not, yeah, there you go. I don't know. Brett, everything is all good on my end. I unfortunately had to leave Craven Something Scary's stream early to take care of something. Had to talk to a buddy. It's all good. All good in the neighborhood, as they say. All is well. All is well in the world, but we're streaming now. We're chilling. What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? I see a bunch of awesome people here. We got David Santa Carla. I'm all good. No worries. No worries. Welcome to the stream. Hawkins House of Horrors here, saying he thought it was a steaming pile of dog shit. That's all right. That's all right. That's the other thing I also want to say too. Two things, everybody. I love all of you guys so much. I love talking movies with you all. But whatever your opinion is on this film, let's just it's all good. You know, film is subjective. We don't got to be mean to each other. Just a movie at the end of the day. So however you feel about the film, love it or hate it, let's just respect each other's opinions here. But we can all talk a little bit about things we liked or didn't like about this film, respectfully, you know, obviously. You know, I titled my film, I titled my video today, Halloween Ends was hot garbage. I mean, that's just my opinion of it though. But if you liked it, all the power to you. All the power to you. I was just not a fan. But we're going to get into all that. We're going to dive into so much stuff today. And obviously, super chats will move to the front of the line if you want to ask any questions. But we have so much fun shit to talk about today. I'm very excited to get into all of this and kind of analyze why things worked, why things didn't work for me, what went wrong, a lot of things. Shaka Swan's got to skip out and want to watch first. Heck yeah. Go watch it. Go watch it. Come back. We'll talk. I'll be live until the Lethal Collective stream at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to be going live for 3 whole hours. 3 whole hours of Halloween talk. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. What can you tell me about Terrifier 2 before I see it at 7, Jake? Go see it. It's a banger. It's awesome. it's a good one. You'll like it. You'll like it a lot, Kyle. It's disgusting. The Atlantic Creole. Hello. Welcome. Saying I loved thanks for the $2, by the way. I appreciate the super chat. Saying I loved the geriatric fight scene in the kitchen. I'm glad you liked it. I was personally not a fan. I thought it was a little I just thought it was a little anticlimactic, you know? I was expecting this big crazy fight between the two, and then it took barely a couple minutes of screen time, maybe. Let's put on the KJJ music. It's time to get on, come on in and get on in and relax and sit on down, talk a little Halloween Ends, a little Michael Myers, or should I say Corey Cunningham. But there was a lot of things I liked about this film though too, but most of it I think was hot garbage. the geriatric fight scene in the kitchen. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's start at the ending. Screw it. Why not? Once again, spoiler warning. It's all at the bottom of the screen, so don't get spoiled if you haven't seen it yet. That's the last I'll say of it. The fight scene at the end, the reason I'm not a big fan of it is the whole movie was leading up to that. And that was one of the least eventful moments of the entire film. I feel like the Corey stuff was way more eventful, but purposeless. Because it was like, why would they focus on this random new character? I talked a little bit on Craven's stream about how I would love for Cameron and Corey to be one and the same. Like if those two characters had merged into one big character, and that's what happened with this film, like Cameron was Corey essentially, that would have worked for me, and that would have been sick. Whereas like you had all this emotional buildup with the character, you saw these you saw the negativity building up in Cameron, and then like he survives at the end of Kills, let's say, and then moves on into this film, and maybe him and Allison are dating again. You know, they resolved their differences after what happened in Halloween 2018, and then now you have this evil inspired in a Cameron, and they're like the same character. That could be, I'm like, okay, that could work. But this film just did not work for me, unfortunately. And it makes me sad. I'm a sad fanboy today. I'm honestly at the same time though, I'm really happy people are enjoying this because I walked out of that with many other people. Like most of my theater was pretty upset. Like the guy sitting next to me walked out halfway through the movie, which was shocking. I've never seen someone else walk out of a movie before. That was shocking. But I kind of was talking to people. I'm oddly very social. And I was just kind of talking to people, like getting the ideas of like what other people were thinking. I'm always I love hearing other people's opinions, which is why I love doing these streams because I get to talk directly to you guys. It's great. And a lot of people were just very disappointed is what I got overall. And I don't know. It's just a shame. Atlantic Creole is also saying they should have built up Corey's character over the course of the past 3 films. That's why I'm saying Corey and Cameron should have been one and the same. Because imagine if that was Cameron doing all that in this movie. It would have. You have to agree that would be pretty that would be way more emotional than what we got here. Because we were just dropped right into this Corey story out of nowhere. I feel like that would have worked if it was its own thing, maybe. But I still feel like it's too close to Christine. I don't know. There's too many things I just wasn't too big a fan of. That sounded scary. Thanks for being a channel member, you awesome person. Thank you. Hey, Jake, what did you think about the scene where you saw Michael's mask in the wall in the sewers? They literally passed that the fuck up. This is a great question, too. I don't know what the point of that was. It felt like it was building something else up, but it didn't. Like, it felt like it was leading to something, but it just went absolutely nowhere. I don't know. I really don't know what the point of that whole thing was. Maybe a glorified Easter egg. I don't know. I really got nothing for you there, Kyle. I wish I knew because like this seems so poignant to me. Like you see this and you're like, I saw it in the trailer and I'm like, this has got to mean something. That this has got to be like, oh, we're gonna dive into the mystique of what makes Michael Myers himself. Like maybe the mask gives him powers. He's been like following the mask and all that. That's been kind of a running theme with the past 2 movies, and that was just completely lost here, I feel. I mean, maybe that's why he shows up at the end of the film. I really don't know. I have no idea what the purpose of that was. I wish I could tell you. I wish that this movie had some more things going for it where I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But no, I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of things like that in this movie too, where I'm like, this could be purposeful. And then it just didn't end up going anywhere. I don't know. I want to like it. I really want to like it. I wanted to come on here so bad and be like, I'm a defender of this movie, just like Halloween Kills. Like I was so pumped after seeing that movie. And when it got a pretty divisive reaction, very polarizing film, like it was very, very 50-50, just like this one. I was so shocked. I was so shocked that people weren't as big a fan of that one because it's just like, it's still a Michael Myers movie at the end of the day. We're still seeing Michael just going fucking crazy, you know? But this movie is just not about that at all. It's just not a Halloween movie, in my opinion. Almost not even at all. I don't know. It's weird. Lee the Nerd is here. What's up? About the mask in the wall. I'm thinking some kind of cult stuff. Michael's existence was foretold. Ooh. See, I would have been fine with that. I didn't realize this could happen in the I didn't realize we could do something like this could happen in the franchise. I would have much preferred a movie that explored his background a little more. And maybe today we'd be talking a little bit about how, how disappointing it was that they dove a little too far into the mystique. I could see that being the case. But I would much rather have that movie. I would much rather have another movie that just over-explains Michael all day, every day over what we got here. I did not care for Corey Cunningham at all. I think he's my least favorite character in the entire franchise. I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't know. It's bizarre. Lee, I feel ya. I was hoping for something more from that. Maybe that wasn't just an Easter egg. Maybe they dive into some more stuff about Michael, but Michael's an afterthought for a Halloween movie. It's such a weird change. I can't get into it. And I like the weirder films in this franchise too. You know, like I love the producer's cut specifically of Curse. I really enjoy that. But man, I just couldn't get into it. I wish I liked it more. I really do. Michael Parton is here throwing $5 into the pit. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. And also thank you for being a KillJoy cult member. Much love to you, Michael. Thank you. Saying, Jake, to be honest, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. I was disappointed it goes where it didn't go where I wanted it to go, but I feel like so many people are overreacting. That's fair, Michael. I mean, there's a lot to love here if you're someone who digs like these kinds of stories. I just watched Christine, like not a week, like maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I can't remember. The days are all blurring together at this point. I've just been nonstop working every single day, but I watched Christine a couple nights ago, and after watching this, I just couldn't. It's too much of a comparison. There's too much to compare it to with Christine. It's just the same movie with in this universe for some reason. I think that's the big reason I was really upset. With Jeepers Creepers Reborn, talking about that earlier this year, I was not a fan of that one either. But that was just simply a bad movie, but it made sense as to why they made that film. You know, it made sense for them to make another movie with the Creeper at the forefront, with more new characters going after the Creeper. That all, like, the setup for it made sense. That's why I even reported on it in the first place. This one just kind of... They advertised it as one thing and they gave us something completely different. Like, to me, this is the equivalent of if we were to have gone and seen like a new Freddy Krueger movie and it focused all on some brand new character who's learning how to get Freddy's powers. Like, I feel like we just wouldn't be into that, you know? I feel like that wouldn't be as exciting. We got, but thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to talk Halloween with you for the next, however much longer we go. But I'm glad, and I'm also glad that you liked parts of it too. I'm very glad. That makes me happy. Zoe Crawford is in the chat too. What's up, Zoe? What's up, man? Howdy, friend. What's up? But yeah, that's another thing. I see a lot of people coming in here. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're getting comfy. We're going to talk a little bit about Halloween Ends, have a little group therapy session, and then talk about it. But one more thing, I just want to repeat this one more time. I promise I'll stop sounding like a broken record here soon. But just another thing, we are talking about spoilers, and just please respect each other's opinions. A lot of us liked it. A lot of us hated it. That's fine. Whatever your opinion on it is, we're going to talk about all of it here. So I respect you no matter what your opinion is on this film. Let's just be respectful of others. That's all. So I'll stop sounding like a broken record. Let's just keep talking about it. And yes, to answer a lot of your guys' burning questions, because I've seen it multiple times in the chat now, I did like this film a lot less than Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I think conceptually that film just makes more sense, even though it has multiple production flaws and weird choices all throughout. But this just doesn't... I don't understand why they made this movie. To me, all I can see from this film is just a very lazy script that just copied Christine beat for beat with everything. Just replaced the car with Michael, and that's why I'm so upset. Lazy filmmaking is what gets me the most upset, because I just think about if I was in that position, someone threw millions of dollars at me to make a movie. I know I wouldn't do that. I know I wouldn't fucking just be like, okay, you know, let's just borrow from something else that these fans really like, and we'll just make a whole movie about that. That's just so lazy to me. I don't get it. I don't understand what happened with this film. I'm very disappointed, but I am seeing a lot of people who enjoyed it, and that's great. That's my crazy conspiracy theory about the film. I don't know. I just don't know how to chalk it up to anything else. It feels very pointless. If like, I remember people coming out of Kills being like, that was pointless. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that's going somewhere and ends. But now it kind of retroactively ruins Kills for me. Like, I still like Kills, but all of the plot stuff that they were trying to set up with like Hawkins, with Laurie taking down Michael and all that, it's just all rendered useless now. Like, I don't understand the point of, I don't get the point of any of that. It's truly a shame. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just wasn't big on it. Lighting Ghost is throwing $10 into the chat. Lighting Ghost, thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate the super chat. Guys are being very, very gracious. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I love the opening scene and the kills, especially the tongue. The tongue was good. I'll give you that. And the curb stomp. But the rest were stupid with Corey and Michael killing together and that ending. Lighting Ghost, I pretty much agree with you. I think the opening scene was pretty well executed. There were some things set up in it, like exposition wise, that kind of just went nowhere, which was one of my big problems with it. But besides that, I think it's really well executed. That's what I talked about in my review. That's the plus I'll give to this film. That's my 1 point. I'll give it fucking great opening scene. Really well done, but it kind of just loses me after that. Maybe if this was its own thing and it didn't follow Christine so much, I'd be like, okay, you know, that can work. That can work. I think Zoe, if you're still here, I'll try to get you on the collective stream. By the way, I see your messages. I'll try to get you on there because I would love to talk with you about this, man. So if you're still here, Zoe, but let's keep talking about the super chat. Let's keep talking about it. Lighting Ghost, once again, thank you for the $10. I appreciate the generosity. But the tongue kill was also pretty damn good. But my problem with it is there just wasn't any setup like how David Gordon Green usually does in the previous two films. Like, remember when you would get these nice little character moments, like these really goofy moments with characters, and then David Gordon Green, like, just they get axed like the next fucking scene. It's a really nice way to set up kills, and there was just no setup. It was just kill after kill after kill after kill, with no character building, with no setup. And, you know, that's not the only way to set up a good kill. Not at all. That's not the only way to set up a kill where it's like you have to have these nice character moments and then kill them. That's not the only way to do it. There's so many ways to do it, but they just didn't have any setup at all. Because if you don't care about the characters being killed on screen, it just turns into Rob Zombie's first Halloween film where it's just constant brutality and there's no time to take a breath. So nothing is shocking anymore. Like, you can show me kill after kill after kill after kill, but by the time we get to the fifth kill, and there's just no breathing room, it's just not going to feel like anything crazy. So I did really enjoy that kill, and I bet it would have been way more fucking impactful if there was some better setup to it, but I barely got to know the DJ character. I mean, it seemed like great potential for a character, but it went absolutely nowhere. I don't know. That was my big problem with it, Lighting Ghost. But I do agree with you. It was a dope kill, and like the shot where it's like spinning on the record and the needles hitting the tongue, that was cool. But I didn't know the character at all, and I that's what I loved so much about kills and Halloween 2018 is you really got to know all these people, and then you just get them fucking wiped off the face of the earth. It's crazy. Yeah, and Corey and Michael killing together, I just who cares? I was like, fuck this, man. I just want to see Michael kill people, and he barely gets any kills in this movie. Arguably like 3 kills, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And the ending was just very anticlimactic. I don't know. That was the thing. That was the thing they were teasing in the marketing, this final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and Laurie just takes him out like it's nothing. But the whole town couldn't do that in the last film. Man, I don't know, man. I just can't get into it. It's a shame. But Lighting Ghost, once again, thanks for the $10. I greatly appreciate the super chat. Thank you. IDT Kennels is throwing $5 in there. Oh my God, I love your doggo. Holy crap, that's cute. I love it. Love your profile picture. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 profile picture right there. I think the kid in the beginning should have died from... should have died from the knife instead of over the railing. I think that would have connected Corey and Myers a little more. Whereas like, almost Corey like killing him himself. Ooh, okay. That's pretty cool. I like that idea a lot. I think that they should have chose to go one way or the other with Corey. I just kept feeling this back and forth with his character. I couldn't tell if he was like an Eddie Munson, for instance, from like Stranger Things 4, where he accidentally kills somebody and then it's like you feel bad for him and he's actually this good dude. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's where I thought they were going with Corey, but then they just full-blown turn him into an antagonist halfway through the film. So like, you just really don't know how to feel about this guy. And he's very confused. Rowan Campbell's a great actor though. I do want to say that. He did his best, but just the writing was all over the place with this movie. I agree though. I think if they would have went full on into the antagonist route or protagonist route, one or the other, it would have worked a lot better. If it was clean cut that it was like, yeah, you're supposed to like Corey and you're supposed to feel bad for him, or the opposite. I think that would have worked a lot better. Like what you're saying, like if he was just this full on antagonist, another Michael essentially, that could have worked for me a little better. But like I said, there's just no clean cut ideas in this movie. Everything feels all over the place, not really going in any specific direction. And that's completely different from how I feel about the other two movies, which do have very clean cut directions. I don't know. Welcome all 100, almost 130 people in the chat right now. Welcome to the stream. We are talking spoilers. The reason I'm repeating this, by the way, for the people who have been here the whole time, is I just don't want anyone to get spoiled, because that's not fair. That's not fair. So I hope none of you are getting spoiled right now. I love all you guys coming in right now. We're gonna talk Halloween, do a little group therapy session, spoilers, and also respect each other's opinions. Some of us hated this, some of us loved it, and that's okay. However you feel about it, that's awesome. So all the power to you. I was not a fan. I was not a fan. I was not a fan of Halloween Ends. And just for you, Kyle, Get it up. Oh, get it up. Go ahead and I'm gonna say that cringy YouTuber thing real quick and smash that like button. You know, I honestly don't care. You know, if you want to hit the like button, go ahead. I don't care. Let's just talk Halloween Ends. That's what fucking matters, baby. But there's a lot of things to go off of here that we gotta unpack, man. Fuck. So the other thing is Corey's mom here. I want to talk a little bit about, because I don't understand why this character was added. Maybe it's because David Gordon Green just really enjoys Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which this character is very clearly based off of. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, essentially a couple of months ago, David Gordon Green came out in an interview and said that there are a few films that really inspired Halloween Ends. One of them being this crazy 80s slasher called Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. No, I'm not making that up. That's a real movie, and it's actually fucking awesome. Like, I love that movie. That movie's fucking sick. Very underrated slasher. If you guys have not seen it, add it to your watch list. I see where it was inspired by, but it's just an underdeveloped idea that, once again, is kind of just copying that film. It's not like there's a difference between paying homage and just straight up taking from stuff. You know what I mean? There's a big difference between that, and Halloween Ends crosses that line way too many times for me to really, really enjoy this thing. And that's my biggest problem with it. Like, but it just steals right from that movie too, with Corey's relationship with his mother. It's very similar to The Ant in that movie. I see people saying that movie's fucking amazing. Hell yeah, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker fucking slaps. Awesome title too. Like, how can you hear that title and not get a little hyped up? You know? Oh my god, yeah. No, but it directly rips that relationship right from that film right into here. And I almost wish that this is maybe bad. This may be horrible for me to say, but I almost wish that they hadn't told us that it was inspired by that film or Christine. And I think maybe that would have flown over my head and I would have liked this movie better. But the entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, so you took that from Christine. You took that from Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. See, I'm getting it fucked up now. I've said it too many times. But yeah, Lee the Nerd's gotta get moving. Peace out. I hope work is not too bad. Hope you're just absolutely fucking vibing right now and having a great Friday afternoon. Or, well, it's 3:00 my time, but whatever time it is for you, I hope you're having a great day. Hopefully you come back too. We'll be going till 6, but you're going to be at work, so probably not. And I see some people talking about Allison too. I want to touch on that as well. Do I have a good picture of Allison? Maybe. That's not Allison, but Allison Nelson is beyond wasted in this movie, and that's one of my biggest problems with it. I love her as a character. Her and Laurie have this great relationship that I think was just really written well in the first 2 movies, and then Allison turns from this badass new final girl to just a nothing love interest in this movie, and I'm so that's one of the most disappointing things about this film. They throw away a lot of the things that were so great about the other movies, just to sacrificing all of that just for this Corey character who's a blatant ripoff of Arnie Cunningham from Christine. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Brayer Grace is throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much, Brayer Grace. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Saying, I wish the kill scenes were drawn out more. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Corey's mom kill scene was too short. Absolutely agree. Kills were weakest of the trilogy, in my opinion. I could not agree more. I think the kill, that was a big, I was just talking about that, and to reiterate that, the kills just did not have enough, like, backup to them. You know what I mean? Like, you usually got to set up a kill a certain way so that you feel emotional about a character. You can't just show me, you can't just dive right into someone getting stabbed. Okay, whatever. I've seen that a million times in a movie. It's the setup that makes a kill scary, or makes it frightening, or makes it, oh God, that's hard to watch, you know? Think about the difference between like a slow kill, like a slow like knife through the neck. Think Wes's death in Scream 2022. Think about how effective that was. That's like I don't like that. I don't want to watch that. That's hard to watch. I love it. That's awesome. But they just blow through the kill sequences in this movie. Nearly all of them. The only one was the tongue one that we were just talking about earlier. And the only reason that one's memorable is because of the tongue getting sliced off and thrown onto the record, the spinning record. That's the only reason it's memorable, because of that sequence at the end. Everything else just kind of blurs together. I I don't know. Bray or Grace, I completely agree. I think it's easily the weakest in the trilogy for kills. Michael only gets like 3 kills, like I said. That's disappointing. No one should outkill Michael. Like, that's just, come on. The way he's portrayed in this movie, too. Trust me, we're going to get into that a little later. But I do want to finish up this thought on Allison. But Bray or Grace, thank you so much for the $5. I greatly appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you. But I want to talk a little more about Allison because this was a character who I just feel like had so much potential and went absolutely nowhere here. And that's my biggest problem with this entire movie is a lot of the characters, all the things that were set up from the past couple of movies just went absolutely nowhere. And I think if this movie would have been developed a little more, it could have been its own thing. Like, it could have been one of those movies where I'm like, this is its own, this is its brand, its own thing that could work. It could be like Season of the Witch, but it doesn't fully dive into that. That's the biggest problem. We'll talk about that in a second. Allison could have been this badass final girl, I think. And she had the potential. She was pretty fucking badass in Halloween 2018 and a little bit in Kills. She had a smaller role in that film for sure, but she still had that about her, which was awesome. And in this film, like I said, she just turns into this love interest for Corey Cunningham, who takes the star role in this movie out of nowhere. And I just... like, that's to me, that's like that's disrespectful level in my opinion with using these awesome characters and just wasting them and wasting an actress like Andi Matichak, who's fucking amazing in everything I've seen her, and to minimalize her character into just a love interest for the crazy character it's whack, man. She was a way more complex character than that. She had so much potential to be this like up there with Laurie Strode kind of final girl, I think, personally. Hot take. I thought she was great, and then just went nowhere with her character. And this movie was promised to be, and trust me, we'll talk about Hawkins and Laurie in a second, because I got some thoughts on that as well. Oh man. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's take a fucking, let's chill out on all of that. Dante's got a real fucking good point here. Allison just fell in love with Corey way too fast. Like, way too fast. Why was she in love with this guy? He was so awkward and so weird to her, especially, and it was just like, it just didn't work. She came on so strong to this guy. I mean, I don't know, man. I totally agree, Dante. It was like very unrealistic. I don't understand the writing there. It was so quick, and I can't remember who said it. But maybe if they were already together before the movie had started, like they had been dating for a while now, and people were like making, like, the whole victim shaming thing that this movie tried to touch on, maybe they're making fun of them, like the townsfolk of Haddonfield saying like, oh, why are you dating Corey? Like, he killed that kid or whatever. And Allison is like, come on. He's a nice guy. It was an accident. That could have been cool. But the way this movie is set up makes no sense. And Laurie Strode, you're telling me Laurie Strode sets these two up? I can't buy that either, man. That to me is, I almost feel like Allison would have been like a replacement for Karen in a weird sort of way, where it's like you have Laurie being way overprotective of Allison, just like how she was to Karen in Halloween 2018. That would have made more sense to me. I don't like that. Laurie Strode was a completely different character in this movie. She was completely over her trauma, like, essentially. That's how it came off, besides like 1 or 2 scenes where it felt like they almost forgot that they had to write that into the story. That was my biggest problem with it. It was like there was 1 or 2 scenes where you got a glimpse of old school Laurie from the past 2 films. I say old school because it feels like a distant dream ago when Halloween Kills was out, and I was loving that. I would take more of Halloween Kills all day, every day over this, but I don't know, man. Characters were very off. Makes me a big old sad boy. But more than anything, I'm just glad some people really enjoyed it. I am glad some people enjoyed it. I'm never gonna crap on somebody for enjoying something. Come on, guys. That's great. I'm glad some people liked it, but just be respectful of others. I know you're like, Jesus, Jake, you said that a million times, and I'm like, I know, I get it. I have said that a million times. You're right, but that's very important with movie talk. Like, at the end of the day, this is just a movie. Let's not start fights over that. That's insane. We all love each other here. It's all a big old nasty love fest, and emphasis on the nasty. Yeah, but Laurie Strode was also just very off in this movie. She's like telling Allison to bone Corey and shit. I feel like that's really out of character. She's carving a pumpkin. It's very bizarre. But Hawkins to me is that's the one I'm maybe the most disappointed with, because they didn't have to bring him back. They did not have to bring him back for the next movie. I'm not complaining about more Will Patton. Let me get that very straight. But they didn't have to bring him back for this movie. For Kills, I mean, because he was presumed dead at the end of that film. But they did bring him back, and they showed you this awesome fucking backstory, which is one of my favorite parts of Kills. The whole the flashback to 78 was awesome. That was sick. But then, like, that goes absolutely nowhere in this film. And that's my biggest problem. I don't understand why they would even set that up for it to go nowhere in this movie. I thought that maybe Hawkins would sacrifice himself to save Laurie. They set up two very big things with Hawkins' character in the last movie. That in the past, he had accidentally killed his partner and got completely, unscathed, got away with it, and did not kill Michael Myers. He prevented Michael Myers from dying that day, so he feels responsible for everything happening in the present from 2018. But then the other thing they set up is that he's also kind of has a thing for Laurie Strode. He wants some of that Strode action, if you get what I'm saying. Why did I say it that way? But the big thing about that is I'm like, oh, okay, they're setting up something very clear here. They're going to have Hawkins maybe try to sacrifice himself for Laurie, and then maybe he lives, maybe he dies. And we're held in suspense for that until, it all ends and Halloween ends. None of that happened. None of that happened. Nothing happened with his character in this entire movie, and he was rendered pointless. I don't know why he was in the film. This was a massive waste of Will Patton, who I think is an amazing actor, very underrated, does not get enough credit. And I don't know how else to spin it. Like, I just feel like there should have been something with his character and nothing. Man. You don't like to, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I do really like Cherry Blossoms, and I'm glad that they said that multiple times throughout. You know what? I guess you're right. The douche reviews. I didn't mean to call you a douche. That's just your name. That's just your screen name. but yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know what the point of setting that all up was. Crazy. Holy crap. What? Okay. You want to talk about some fucking screen names right here. That's legendary. Leonardo DiCaprio. 10 out of 10. I'm seeing some amazing. I'm seeing doggos in profile pictures. I'm seeing some fucking awesome screen names right now. You guys are the best. Welcome all you wonderful new people, because these names and profile pictures are fucking sick. Holy shit, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the $10, Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't even say that without giggling a little bit. That's great. Ends was the best of the trilogy, in my opinion. Hell yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I liked that they had the guts to be different. They are different. I will give you that. Rest in peace, Corey. It's in my top 5 Halloween movies, ranking it Halloween 4, Halloween 2018, Halloween 5 at number 3. Oh, some hot takes going around. I love it. 4 Ends and 5 Halloween 3. Ooh. Leonardo DiCaprio. I love it, man. I love it. All the power to you, dude. I'm just glad you liked it, man. Like, listen, I'm some douchebag who calls himself KillJoy Jake on the internet. It shouldn't matter what I think. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares what I think? I'm glad you enjoyed it. Seriously, that makes me so happy. That's why I do this page, man. That's why I do this page, because we all love horror movies and we all get excited about them. That's fucking great. Don't crap on people for loving. Don't crap on people for loving. I love it. Love is love, baby. Hell yeah. I love your top 5 too. I don't think I've ever seen that top 5 ever. Like, that's awesome. That's an awesome top 5. Halloween 4 is highly underrated. Highly. I also got Halloween 2018 and Halloween 3 in my top 5 too. So good stuff. Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't even say it without laughing. Thanks for the $10. I greatly appreciate that. Leo DiCrap. Gabe is also throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much, Gabe. I appreciate that. You're the best. I appreciate the super chat. The marketing is a complete lie. I mean, I can't disagree with that either. Excuse me. How is this final showdown between The Shape and Laurie, but that's not what the movie is? Rise of Skywalker bad. Oh, I can't disagree with you there, Gabe. I don't think the ending, if they didn't tease this to be like the final battle between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, if they hadn't teased that up to be this big fight, this like wrestling match showdown, WWE Raw kind of showdown between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, I may not have been as disappointed in this film, but they promised us one thing by it and then didn't deliver on that. I compared this to Halloween 3 in my review today, and I said, like, the reason Halloween 3 works for so many people is because they don't love it because it's a Halloween movie. They love it because it's Season of the fucking Witch, baby. It's about killer masks and Stonehenge and all this crazy bullshit, and Tom Atkins dating a bunch of girls and just being a sleazeball. It's a crazy movie. It's awesome. But I think my problem with it is the fact that they promised us that Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are going to have this crazy battle together, and then they kind of don't. Like, it's not that great of a battle. Like, if you love the Corey stuff, I can see getting behind this movie. I can see liking that. I personally wasn't a fan, but if you like the Corey stuff, that's cool. But we were promised this epic showdown, and we didn't get that, in my opinion. And maybe if kills didn't exist, maybe I once again would feel a little better about this movie, because then you wouldn't have that comparison of like, well, the entire town tried to take him down and that just didn't happen. Michael Myers took them all out, killed every last one of them like it was nothing. Maybe, he had a little trouble, I guess, at the end of Kills, but he like just blew through them like it was nothing. And then you're telling me Laurie Strode takes him out like that, like nothing. He was just some random intruder that came into his house. What happened in between the 4 years from Kills to Ends? Like, I need more context there. So I agree with you. I just was not a fan. I don't know. I was really disappointed. Carter Man 7 is throwing specifically $11.38 into the chat. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Carter Man 7. I appreciate that. I like your shape profile picture too. Tony. That's me, if you don't know. I go by many names. Darcy, Tony, I call myself many things. Carter Man saying, Tony, I didn't hate it. It's not supposed to be a Kubrick film. No, not at all. I was not going into this with high expectations either, and we'll talk about that in a second. It is what it is. However, I would have ended the movie in the kitchen and skipped the procession, etc. Yeah, no, I agree with you there at the ending. I think if the ending shot of this was just Laurie Strode going to town on Michael and then that would have been fucking sick. Honestly, I might like the movie better if it ended that dramatically, I'd be like, shit, that was fucking crazy. But yeah, no, I feel you there. The procession is just quite literally the exact ending to fucking to Christine. So that's why I'm like, that scene did nothing for me at all. Like, that would have been cool if everything wasn't, just a blatant ripoff of Christine. That scene would have been dope otherwise. Like, if they killed him in some kind of crazy big overdramatic way like that wasn't just stealing something from another movie, I would have been down for it. But I mean, they just directly took it from there without any other purpose besides, hey, we need a movie and we need an ending. So let's just take it from this other John Carpenter movie that people like. So, yeah, and the other thing about this is, like, I can promise you I was not going into this with, like, the highest expectations. I was not expecting my favorite Halloween movie ever from Ends, but I was expecting it to at least end this trilogy a little better. That was a big thing I was expecting from it, and I just feel like it didn't do that. It tried to do its own thing, and I respect that. I respect that they tried to be ambitious, try its own thing, but I just don't think it really, I don't think it amounted to much. I feel like maybe if Corey was someone who had been there the entire time, I would care for this movie a lot more, but writing in a random character just to do what Corey did, which wasn't a whole lot, I don't know. I just don't have a whole lot of, I don't see the point there. At least Julian was in it. I see that comment, Gerald. I like that. But Carter Man 7, thank you for the $11.38, which is awesome. Thank you, Carter Man. Brayer Grace is throwing $5 into the chat saying, thank you so much, Brayer Grace. Appreciate the super chat. Saying, wish Hawkins had a moment with Myers in this movie. Halloween Kills built that up. Yeah. Yeah, man, you're right. You are absolutely 100% right. Just something with Michael Myers, some kind of confrontation would have been great. I'm gonna pitch an idea for how I would have ended this movie in a video, probably on Sunday. I'm gonna have a ranking video tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do a video talking about like how I would have approached the ending personally, which is maybe a little pretentious. Yeah, it is. You're right. For people who are thinking that, but I have an idea and I want to pitch it out there. Why not? I'm not saying mine's better. Not saying that at all. Just saying I have an idea that maybe would have been cool to end end this trilogy. That's all. But I do agree with you. I feel like Hawkins should have had a moment with Michael Myers, and I would have ended it with something that was really important, centering around that. But ultimately, being about Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers, having a moment like that though as well would have been cool. I totally agree with you, Brayer Grace, for sure. For sure. Thank you so much for the $5. And BJ Paulin's throwing $5 in there saying, check my message below. Absolutely, my dude. I got you. BJ saying my biggest thing was editing plus pacing. That's another thing. I can't agree with you more about that either. From the trailers we got, I know there is a lot more footage they did not show. Yes, they used some whack fucking takes in this movie. Like, the trailer looks better than some of the scenes they actually used in this film, which is really bizarre. I don't know the point to that. But it felt random in how the editing was. Great ingredients, but the execution. I do agree with you there. There was some good ideas being tossed around, but none of them really got fully developed. Like, there was some ideas that could have worked in a Halloween movie, I think, for sure, but they just didn't. They didn't go anywhere. You know, it felt pointless. It felt like they were just trying to get a movie out to get a movie out, and it didn't really seem to go anywhere. And I don't know. I kind of agree with you. The editing also felt very choppy. Like, there's this, I was talking about this line with Laurie Strode earlier on, where you have her kind of talking about Allison, and she's like, why not whip your boobs out for El Corey? Or I can't remember the line off the top of my head, but it's done so fast, and then it immediately cuts after that to something else. Like, it's the most bizarre way to end a conversation. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was going on there. This movie just was very rushed, I think. That's my guess. My conspiracy theory about this, BJ, and thank you for the $5. I greatly appreciate that. And I totally agree with you about the editing and pacing, man. I think the big problem with this movie is you had David Gordon Green getting The Exorcist basically mid-movie. Like, he got announced to be working on The Exorcist for Blumhouse next year, right when they were working on this, which is the big problem. I think they just got like really pumped. I think they just got really pumped for that, and they wanted to put all their eggs in that basket, focus on The Exorcist next, because that's the start of a brand new trilogy. They have to focus on that. And I think they're giving too much to David Gordon Green. I mean, think about how much 3 movies is. This is spanned across like 4 years, 5 maybe even 6 years of work. This is a lot of time and effort that went into this trilogy. It's kind of not even a surprise that this movie wasn't great and felt rushed, because they have to focus on The Exorcist. Their hands are kind of forced, which is why I feel like I've been a little harsh on David Gordon Green. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he just bit off more than he could chew. But if that's not the case, if he just was like, fuck it with this film, whatever, we got to focus on The Exorcist, I kind of lost a lot of respect for the guy, honestly. It's a shame, because I think he killed it with Halloween 2018 and Kills. I know Kills is another divisive film, but I personally really dig that one. And I liked it a lot, but I just hope that wasn't the case here. I hope David Gordon Green wasn't just like, you know what? Screw Halloween. We're going to focus on The Exorcist next, which I also don't have too much faith in that film, but I'm going to see it. I'll tell you what, I am going to see it, and I'm probably going to review it, and we'll check it out. Hopefully I'm still rooting for it. I still hope it's good. I love a lot of the people that are attached to this project, and it makes me really sad that I didn't like this film, but it's a shame. Carter Man 7 is a KillJoy cult member now, and I just want to welcome you to the family. And we're definitely not a cult. Definitely not. Definitely not a cult, man. Nope, not at all. Carter, I can't see which level you became, but becoming a KillJoy family member means you get to drink the Kool-Aid. You get to drink the special Kool-Aid coming on in. Enjoy the Kool-Aid. It's delicious. Drink all of it. Drink all of the Kool-Aid. It's great. But you also get some special videos. I'm doing a whole I don't even know what the fuck they're called. Reaction video to Halloween 1978. It's not a reaction video. Commentary track. Gonna be putting that out soon for Freddy tier patrons and all that. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. It's gonna be fucking sick. You guys get some bonus content every single month, depending on what tier you're at. It's gonna be awesome. So Carter, man, welcome to the cult family. Cult family. Just regular family. Welcome. welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the support, man. Whole lot. But yeah, no, I don't hate David Gordon Green though. I feel like I was pretty harsh on him in my review. How do you put out a movie like that? How do you put out a movie like that when you did put out something like Halloween 2018? That's so impressive. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't, there's such a massive difference between those two, I think. And I don't know. It's very tough to say. Very tough to say. I'm going to say hi to some more people because holy crap, everybody, we almost have 200 people in this stream. Holy jeez. Welcome to the stream, everybody. King of Sanity is here saying, I think they should have just made a rom-com with Corey. Ooh, Corey and Michael getting together. Ooh, little smooching between Corey and Michael. Hell yeah. Honestly, that might have been a better movie. That sounded scary as saying, welcome to the fam. Welcome. Once again, Carter Man, welcome to the fam. Bexa is here saying, hello, Jake. Hello. Welcome to the stream. DeRuckus is here too. What's up? Film would have made more sense if Michael was out killing and they suspected Corey, but had to let him go because of lack of evidence. No way that many kills just go unnoticed. That's a good point too. They're kind of all, I think, in succession, you know? I think DeRuckus, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you got a point there. I'm trying to defend this film, but it's kind of tough. It's really tough. You got a point though. I don't know how all of that happens and there's just no evidence, especially when there's a kid in town who killed somebody. You think they would have like a police breathing down his throat, pretty much breathing down his neck. That's what I meant to say. Kind of gross to breathe down someone's throat, open up their mouth hole and just right in there, you know. John Smith is here too, saying, Jake, you the man. You're the man, John. I appreciate it. Thank you. He loves Christine too. Hell yeah. All the love for Christine. Love me some Christine. I do love that movie too. You know, I know we're talking, I specifically me, I'm talking very negatively about Halloween Ends, but I fucking love Christine, man. I mean, you talk about John Carpenter movies, you talk about like The Thing, Halloween, They Live, maybe Assault on Precinct 13 too, if we're getting in some deeper cuts, but I think Christine's very underrated. I really fuck with that film. Watching it again recently, I've been going through a lot of John Carpenter movies, and I'm like, man, a lot of these are awesome. The Fog, too. Didn't even talk about that. How did I not talk about The Fog? Oh, I love The Fog. So that's one of my all-time. That's one of my like top 3 John Carpenter movies. Hot take. Fog's up there. Maybe number 3, but still up there. The score for that is super underrated. Super underrated. How do I send a Reddit link to a photo? So I have it so that links are turned off in my live chats. I should probably change that though, which is a problem, but well, I'll get that changed. I'll get that changed for you, but you can send me stuff on my Twitter and Instagram as well if you guys want to follow me there. We can talk about horror movies all the fucking time. It's awesome. Tryhard7 is throwing $5 into the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Saying Halloween Ends feels like it should have been a 2-part movie. Part 1 was Corey's story, and part 2 should have been the end with Michael and Laurie's story. What a letdown. I feel you there. I feel like there's too many ideas going around that weren't developed enough. So I agree with you there. I think they should have focused maybe a little more on Corey's story, like throughout the past 2 films, maybe, and built it up for this film. And then you see the payoff from that. But it was just too much to set up for this movie, I think. And yeah, part 2 should have been just a whole movie focused on Michael and Laurie's final battle would have been dope. That's what I was expecting. I just can't believe this film wasn't that. It's strange. Really strange more than anything. I don't know. I don't know why they would market this movie as being one thing and then just give us something else. That was my big thing about it. So I agree with you, Tryhard7. I wish they would have just put all their eggs in that basket a little more and just double down on the Corey and Laurie story. But no, we're just gonna focus on brand new character, I guess. I don't know. Tryhard7. I don't know either, man. I got nothing. Thank you for the $5 though. I greatly appreciate that. You are the best. And Izzy is also throwing $2 in there. Hell yeah, saying love ends, and I love how divisive. Words are hard. Divisive it is for fans. You know, I will say this does make for good conversation. Like, let me tell you. I'll give you that. It's great to converse. I am curious, though, Izzy, if you're still around, what was something you liked about the film? And I'm not trying to be like... I'm not trying to be condescending in any way, shape, or form. I'm just genuinely curious as to what you really liked about it, because I'm seeing a lot of people say they liked it, but I'm not seeing too many specific reasons why. Like, I'm seeing people saying they like Corey Cunningham, and I'm like, okay, but why? Like, what was the draw to him? And once again, not trying to be condescending in any way, shape, or form. I just genuinely want to hear you out. That's all. Me watching it, I was just so not interested in Corey, and I just don't think he's an interesting character because of how they completely misdirect you constantly back and forth with this character. It feels like they're playing tug of war with this character, going back and forth and back and forth. So I'm curious what you think about Corey, what you thought about the overall story in general. And that rhymed, yeah. Yes, before someone points it out, yes. That did rhyme. I'm curious. Oh, and Matthew Farisi is throwing $10 in there. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the $10, Matthew. I appreciate that. Your profile picture is gorgeous too. I fucking dig that. That's awesome. Didn't despise it, but it failed to do what it needed to do. Should have had both Corey and Michael killing, diverting everyone's attention. I feel bad for James Jude Courtney. Me too. James Jude Courtney is incredible. Like he's one of my favorite Michael Myers ever. And I just don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why they would just like sideline him here, especially when, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that James Jude Courtney's performance in the last film was maybe my favorite Michael Myers ever, like bar none. I fucking loved it. I don't know why they would now sideline him in this film. I will agree with some of the criticisms about kills is that there was too much Michael, there wasn't enough story. I somewhat agree with that a little bit. But I almost feel like you could have balanced it out a little more where you put a little more of the Michael into this film and then maybe kills would have been even better and then it would have elevated ends a little bit. I don't know. It's just a thought. I'm starting to get a little sad that a lot of trilogies nowadays end on a pretty sour note. It's pretty sad in my opinion and it makes me a sad little fanboy, but I agree with you. I do feel bad for James Jude Courtney, who just did not really have any time to do anything in this film. He's so incredible as the Shape, and for him to not be able to do anything in this film really, except get beat up by a 20-year-old. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's bizarre. The Corey thing could have worked too, and I've said it many times in my update videos. Corey should have just been a device to get Michael to Laurie, and that's it. I mean, that could have been the extent of it. But I do agree with you, Matthew. I think that this could have worked in some way, like the diverting everyone's attention. Maybe there's Corey on one side of town killing people, pretending to be Michael, and then real Michael's on the other side of town. Even more, that could have been even more chaotic than both of the last two films, which I personally would have fucking enjoyed. I think that actually would have been kind of cool, depending on how it was executed. Once again, execution is everything, especially with very ambitious ideas like that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see, Matthew. Hopefully, but listen, Matthew, thank you for the $10. I greatly appreciate that. But there are so many good horror films yet to come. I mean, 2022 was incredible for horror movies, man. And we're not fucking done yet, baby. On the 20th, which is next week, VHS 99 comes out, which I am so fucking excited for. And don't worry, we're going to stay on the Halloween talk. I just want to get this out real quick because there are some more good things to look forward to. If you haven't seen Terrifier 2 yet, that is back in theaters, baby. So you may be able to go and see that too. And we got Pray for the Devil the week after that too, which I don't know if that's going to be good or not, but it looks decent. I'm going to check it out. So there's plenty of good horror films to go around this year. It's really it's just a great time to be alive. And it's a shame that I can't personally add ends to that list. Makes me a little sad. Love Lacey Mosley. Hell yeah, is saying highly disappointed. Corey made Michael look like a bum when he took the mask. Also, the classic sit-up Corey did. Horrible. Yeah, I agree. I just wasn't big on the old Mr. Cunningham, Corey Myers running around with the mask. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what that was all for, man. It was bizarre. When he took the looks like a bum when he took the mask. Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't understand how you can have this guy just overpower Michael when he just obliterates people in the previous movie. Did you see that little chin hit right there? That was crazy. I don't understand that. I really don't get what the point of that scene was. How did that make it past? Like, how were all four of the writers, 4 writers on this film, and not one of them brought up, hey, you know what, guys? In Kills, we had all these people almost overcome Michael, and he still kills all of them. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. How does not one person in the room point that out? You can't tell me that's not lazy writing, man. I don't know. I just don't understand how 4 people, not one person, can't point that out. That's crazy to me. And Corey's death is terrible, in my opinion. I said this on Craven's stream earlier, but I genuinely think this movie would have been saved for me if Michael Myers comes in full blown, the last 15 minutes, kills Corey Cunningham in like the most vicious way possible, And Matthew, I see your super chat. We're getting to it soon, but I got to get this out. Let's say, okay, the movie plays out exactly like how we've seen. And the whole time, I don't know about you guys, but personally, in my head, I'm just like, I cannot stand this fucking guy. Like, please, someone kill this man. Michael, come in there and kill him. If Michael would have came in there and gave us his most brutal kill, like I'm talking Terrifier 2 level kill on Corey Cunningham, that would have saved the movie. And then the entire third act of this film is just Laurie Strode and Michael Myers going back and forth, kind of similar to the 2018 ending, but different because we're not in a house full of traps this time. Laurie's not prepared for him. Laurie's got to use her final girl scales, use fucking weapons all over the house, maybe use like a fucking, I don't know, rip shit off the walls and start smacking Michael with it, like just a vicious, brutal battle. That would have been fucking sick. And then, of course, maybe it ends with Michael dying or both of them dying, Laurie dying. I don't know. I feel like the ending of this film was too clean cut as well. It's another big thing I wasn't huge on. But that. I don't know. I feel like that would have saved the film for me personally. I'll throw that at you guys, though, however you feel about that. Let that simmer. Let that marinate in your brain for a second there. Honestly, I think that would have saved the movie. I would have been like, you know what? The first 2 acts were kind of tough to get through, but Corey's death was fucking crazy. That would have been, I would love to be talking about that right now. That would have saved it for me. Matthew was throwing another $5 in there. Matthew, once again, thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate the super chat, saying, I kind of wish Michael came to and pulled Laurie into the car shredder with him. I'll tell you right now, Matthew, we'd be having a very, very different conversation right now. Oh, holy crap. We'd be having a very different conversation right now if that was the case. Oh my God. Like, listen, the opening scene got a reaction out of me. I'll be honest. The opening scene, I was like, shit, I was not expecting that. You know, I was expecting this kid to die. Jamie Lee Curtis spoiled that like a month ago. Whatever. But that would have been fucking insane if you would have given me that ending. Holy shit. I don't know. I would have lost my mind if they did something like that. Would have loved people's reactions. By the way, love your channel, man. Thank you so much, Matthew. I greatly appreciate it. I love you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I actually totally agree with you, Matthew. That would have been fucking, that would have been insane. Holy shit, dude. Can you even imagine? I mean, what the conversation, right? You think this movie's divisive? Oh my God. If that would have happened, dude, the conversation would be so different right now. I don't even know where I would be mentally. I would be like, that shit's insane. I can't believe they did that. They played it like way too safe with some things in this movie, but other things they went off the rails with. It's a very strange film. I love when things are different with a purpose. To go off of that. Matthew, thank you again for the support. I greatly appreciate that, man. You're fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. I love when things are different with the purpose, though. I love when things get fucking weird, but it's like, oh, the franchise is always meant to go this route. It needed to go there to keep it fresh. I just don't see that argument with Corey Cunningham because this just wasn't anything fresh. Like, I've seen, like, if you've watched Christine before, you've seen this movie. Essentially. And that's my big problem with it. If this was like a new story where I'm like, Halloween has never dove into this is nothing familiar for John Carpenter fans, that would have been fucking sick. But like, this is just, it's nothing new. It's nothing where I'm like, I haven't seen this before already multiple other times. And they just rip it from other movies. It's crazy. Holy shit. We have 200 people here. Fucking welcome everybody. Make yourself comfortable. We're talking about Halloween for at least another 2 hours. So welcome to the stream. We're going to be talking about, like Halloween Ends, like I said, and we are talking spoilers, as you can see at the little bottom thing right across the screen here. And also for the people who loved or hated this film, let's just respect each other's opinions. You know, it's all good. If you loved it, if you hated it, that's all good. Let's express those opinions here, of course, but not maliciously. If you loved, like I personally was not a big fan, but if you loved it, it's all good. All the power to you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's awesome. That makes me super happy if you really enjoyed this film. Seriously, I mean it. I think that's fucking awesome for the people who did really enjoy this one. But I just was not a fan. I'm going to express my discourse about it. But, excuse me. But we're going to, regardless, I'm just excited to be talking about it. So much more to get into with this fucking film. Because, god damn, dude. Holy shit. The marketing kind of spoiled a lot about this film, too. That's a big thing I want to talk about with like shit like this just had me not super pumped. that was really over dramatic. Shit like this. Relax, Jake. I know. But I just don't understand why we had Laurie Strode and Allison Nelson, Lindsay Wallace, and fucking everybody in this movie who was traumatized in Halloween 2018 celebrating Halloween now. Like we're pumped about Halloween. One of the first scenes we see with Laurie Strode and Allison is, oh, it's a Halloween tradition that I bake you a pie, and then Laurie burns it. Oh no. Oh geez, that's not good. Why are they celebrating? Why out of all of the people on planet Earth are these people celebrating Halloween? That makes no fucking sense to me, even in the slightest. I don't understand. I just can't get behind. I don't understand that. This is, in my opinion, the worst representation of Laurie Strode as a character, as well as Michael. I just don't get it. I really don't. That makes no sense to me. Like, I understand the whole, a big theme about this was like overcoming trauma and things, but like, this is not the right way to deal with it. I compared the ending of this film, like what I think they should have done with the ending of this film, to The Babadook, which is another movie that kind of deals with similar themes that this whole trilogy deals with. And that movie, spoiler alert, it came out almost 10 years ago now. Come on, we can talk about this film. Spoiler alert, that film ends with your main character's demon being like trapped in the basement, and she has to live with it. She has to feed it. I almost feel like if, this movie was stealing a lot of shit from other movies, so fuck it at this point. What if it stole that ending where it's like Michael doesn't die, but Laurie Strode has him chained up in the fucking basement and like has to live with this evil, and the cops just turn a blind eye to Laurie Strode harboring this fugitive in her basement because it's like, you can't kill the guy. That we've learned we can't kill him. I would love a final battle scene where it's like Laurie Strode just stabbing him, going all out on him, trying to kill him with brute force, but realizing she can't. There's something supernatural about this motherfucker, and we can't kill him the way we want to. So we're just gonna fucking accept that this is something that happened and live with it and overcome it, which I just feel like is so much more thematic with everything that's going on with the trauma and all those themes going on throughout this movie. That would have worked so much better. Imagine an ending scene where you're once again from the perspective of Michael, and Laurie Strode just comes into the basement and has like a bowl of fucking meat, like cat food or something, and he just like devours it. Or a rat. Fingers crossed we see Michael Myers eating a rat at some point. But I just think that would have been sick. That fucking ending, to see like Laurie Strode has overcome her demons. She is no longer afraid of Michael Myers, so much so that she lives with him in her fucking house, has him chained up in the fucking basement. I think that would have been fucking insane. I would have like been like, wow. That's fucking impactful, dude. BJ Paulin throwing $5 in there, and I just stole that from the Babadook, by the way. That's just the exact same way that one ends. But BJ Paulin throwing $5 in there. Thank you so much. I almost thought Michael was gonna be the one to kill the kid, then leave, framing Corey in the opening, have it be 1 year after that. I think that would have actually been pretty fucking sick, because I kind of don't know how to feel about Corey after that scene. It's weird. You almost feel like you want to feel bad for him because it was an accident, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. How do I feel about this? And then when he goes evil randomly mid-movie because Michael stares him down and transfers his evil energy into him or some bullshit, that's when you really lose me with Corey at that point. I was kind of getting into Corey. I was like, okay, I'm buying this. This is cool. And then they lost me with the whole fucking Michael dragging him into the sewers and all that. I'm like, what? I agree, though. I think this would have been more interesting if Michael and Corey had already established a connection together, and Michael was maybe killing people on all the Halloween nights leading up to 2022. But it was like minimal, like what if it was just like Michael comes out, he kills a few people, and he goes back, and like no one sees him. Like it could have been something like that. That could have been kind of dope. Corey gets blamed for it because there's just no one else at the scene, and you could set it up the same way. Like maybe, Corey's trapped in that room where he is, and then fucking Michael shows up, kills the fucking kid, goes out the back door. Corey breaks out, sees his dead body lifeless there, being like, oh shit, fuck. And then the fucking parents walk in. That would have been awful. And so like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Corey. I actually would have dug that. That's fucking a great idea, BJ. I love that. No, I agree. I think they should have established the relationship between them better. There was a point in the movie yesterday where I just looked down at my phone. I'm like, we've got to be 30 minutes into this and no Michael. Like it was the first like more than 30 minutes. was about Corey Cunningham. And I'm just like, dude, what is happening right now? I never do this. I want to make that very clear. I never look at my phone during a movie, but this was the first time I broke that rule in a very long time. I pull out my phone and I just check the time real quick. And it had been like 40 some minutes into the movie and no Michael Myers. And when you finally do get him, it's for like a split fucking second in the sewers. And then it's back to Corey for like the rest of the fucking movie. I'm like, what is going on right now, man? It's wild. It's wild, man. It's wild. I don't know. BJ Paulin, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. I agree, though. Corey and Michael's relationship should have been built up for a while, you know? I agree. But yes, listen. Even if you were disappointed by this film, you loved it, whatever. We still have a lot of great horror coming up, like I said. Even from Blumhouse, too. Like, I know people are kind of iffy on Blumhouse right now, but there is some good stuff coming in the future, though. So hopefully those won't be disappointments. And we'll be able to come on here, get live, and be like, holy shit, this movie fucking kicked ass. Let's go. I hope that we can do that with whatever the next thing is. VHS 99, like I said, comes out next week on Shudder. I can't fucking wait for that. Big VHS fan here. Can't wait. Brandon is putting this little factoid in there, saying Michael only had 3 kills. Yeah. Lowest fucking kill. Like, what? How do we do this, man? How do we make this mistake? I almost would have been. This is a hot take, too. This is a real hot take. I almost would have liked this movie more if Michael Myers just simply wasn't in it. Hot take, but I think what took away from, like, there was just 2 different stories trying to pull at the focus the entire movie. And I think if they just would have went all in on the Corey thing and made it its own thing, that could have worked. But man, they just, it was so undercooked, everything about it, especially the Michael Myers and Laurie Strode stuff. The Corey thing was obviously a little more fleshed out because it took up, the majority of the screen time, but was pointless in my opinion. But yeah, no, I agree. Michael should not have been out-killed by some random 20-year-old in this movie, man. Crazy. BJ Paulin throwing another $5 in there. BJ, you're fucking awesome, man. All the power to you, man. I appreciate it. I want to transfer my powers to you. Maybe I'll catch you in the sewer sometime and I'll just send my evil energy through my eyes. Give you some magical powers. It'll be great. Thank you, BJ. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Don't listen to me. I'm fucking crazy. BJ saying, I like the idea of Corey because it introduces a conversation about the birth of evil, perhaps the legacy of evil itself. Again, I like the idea. I do too, BJ Paul, and I'm down. Listen, I fucking love weird movies in this franchise. I love Halloween 3 is a fucking banger. I also love Curse of Michael Myers. Honestly, I dig that a lot. Producer's Cut's a fucking banger, but I was not a fan. I really do like Rob Zombie's Halloween. With this movie, though, it's just not a focus. It doesn't go too far into what it was trying to do differently. And I feel like if this was a movie entirely focused on the new thing, it would have worked. But it was constantly going back and forth between the things it was trying to do new and the story it had to continue. So I almost just feel like if David Gordon Green wanted to go this route, why didn't he just make an anthology series where it was like, okay, Halloween 2018 was its own isolated story. That was a death for Michael Myers. Cool. With the next film, he could have done his own thing, like something brand new. And then same thing with this one. I would have fucking been all about that, personally. I would have been like, okay, hey, that's pretty cool. That's John Carpenter's original idea for what he wanted this series to be anyways. It's going to be called Halloween. It's always going to take place on Halloween, but be different stories. And that's why we got Season of the Witch. I dig that. That would have been fucking cool if they would have actualized that here, now, in the present. But they just didn't do that. They decided to make a story where it was like a full-length thing all about Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and then last minute they decide, fuck that. That's my big problem. I'm down for new stories. I'm down for experimental shit like that. Just like how I'm down for Season of the Witch. That's one of my favorite Halloween movies. But I like that film because it's not a Halloween movie. If that movie also had a subplot with Michael Myers, who's only in it for like 10 minutes, we probably wouldn't like Season of the Witch more. Like, think about that for a second. What if the entire time Tom Atkins' character is investigating where this mask shit is coming from? There's also a killer on the loose trying to kill them at the same time. It would make that story too complicated, right? That it's the same thing here. It's the exact same thing here, and it's just way too complicated. It's a mess. They needed to fix this thing up, make it focus on one thing or the other. But BJ, I agree. I do like the idea. I think it's cool, but they just didn't actualize it. But once again, dude, thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate that. You guys are the best. I love hanging out with all 183 of you. Holy shit. Welcome, everybody. This is hilarious, by the way. If you guys have not seen Chud, that's a banging movie, let me tell you. Hilariously awesome B movie. But now Chud stands for Corey humiliates us devotees. That's really funny. I love that. Funny stuff. And Izzy is saying that they love the movie and they love the conversations it's creating. And that's great. Like, once again, I'm sorry I keep repeating myself if you've been here the whole time and you're like, Jake, I get it, okay? Like, I get it, dude. I get it. We'll respect each other. Okay, but I'm just telling the new people who are coming in, Jake, I get it, man. Okay, I'll shut up. God, you don't have to yell. I talk to myself. That's the voices in my head speaking. Sorry, had to let them get loose for a second. But yeah, no, I agree. I do love the conversation. Let me tell you. That's been one of my favorite things about all of this. I love when a movie just gives you so much to chew on. You know, I really hated this movie. I was not a fan at all, but there's a lot to chew on here. Like, there's a lot to fucking talk about. there's so much to, I'm barely scratching the surface of some of the weird shit in this movie to talk about. And that to me is still pretty exciting. I'll give it that. I'm being really optimistic here, but yeah. Your ADD is, yeah, it really is. It truly is. That sounded scary. I'm losing my mind today. I love it. I have a plethora of emotions running through me right now. So many different things. And I'm just disappointed because this was such a good trilogy. Like, Halloween and Halloween Kills, both of these movies back to back were so much fucking fun. And I'm like, these are awesome. These are some of the best requels out there. And Ends is, in my opinion, the very worst out of everything we've got. Like, I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 from earlier in the year. I think is way better. Honestly, like, it's a hot take, but I loved that movie compared to this. Man, I don't know. I just don't know how you can go from like the very best of the requels to like the very worst. I don't know. I just don't know how that can happen. It makes me sad because it's almost like, I'm not saying this is the last nail in the coffin for that, you know, for that phase of horror, because that's kind of where we're at right now. The whole requel phase, we're going through the Halloween movies are doing their continuation, where it's a continuation of just their original. Tonally, the new Scream film is a requel, not exactly one, but I liked that. Scream 2022 was a lot of fun. I can't wait for Scream 6 later next year, early next year actually. What the fuck am I saying? But there's so many good ones out there, and then in my opinion the Halloween films have just been the cream of the crop, and now for them to just basically just poop in our eyeballs with this, it makes me sad. It makes me a big old sad guy. Lizzie is here, who also just has an awesome doggo in her profile picture. I love it. The eyes are hilarious. Yes, absolutely. The worst final act in a trilogy. Rise of Skywalker is what David Gordon Green was going for. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what the fuck what was going on here. It's bizarre. I think the final act, to me, like I said earlier, I feel like it almost would have been better if it just didn't focus on Michael at all. Maybe if they went all in with that, you know what I mean? They just let's just go all in with the fucking Corey thing. That would have been cool. But like I said in my review, it's like they're sticking their toe in a fucking pool and they're like, I don't know. This pool's kind of cold. I don't know if I want to just dive on in there. They should have just dove in. They should have just dove into that weird pool, and I would have respected this film a lot more. Because like I said in the past, I do like when these films get a little weird. This is a hot take, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is one of my favorites from this entire franchise. I know. Some people hear that and they're like, white horses, no. Dear God, keep me away from that. No way, Jake. I have come to like that film because if you watch it as a Rob Zombie movie, it fucking slaps, and I really do enjoy it a lot. But it's not a Halloween movie. That is the best comparison to Season of the Witch from anything else in this franchise is easily Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because it's just not a Halloween movie. It's its own thing. It's its own Rob Zombie movie. And that's what's great about it, in my opinion. This movie is not that. This movie is just not that. It's trying to continue the story. It's trying to do too much all at once. There's too many things going on here, too many ideas all together. I don't know. Reboot the franchise, please. You know, this is something funny. We were talking about this on the stream earlier. It's almost like they can never get a trilogy. They can never get an entire timeline right. Like there's so many trilogies that are close to being great. Like in my opinion, I fucking love like Halloween 2, H2O, and then there's fucking Resurrection. It's like, oh, we were so close. Then we have this fucking timeline too, where it's like Halloween 78, Halloween 2018, another banger. Fucking Halloween Kills, divisive, yes, but I think it's pretty good. And then they just they don't stick the landing. It's a shame. It really is a shame. It makes me sad. Makes me a sad guy. But you know, the good news though, like you were just saying, rebooting the franchise, they will probably bring Michael back in 5 years, maybe less. 5 to 10 years, we'll probably see Michael back again. Another studio will do it. We'll have a new director on board, and we'll have some thoughts and opinions on that, I'm sure. So if you were not happy with what they did here in Ends, there's probably going to be another chance to get it right next time. So there you go. I do want to ask once again, because Izzy, I totally missed if you were... Oh, Izzy is here. Hello, Izzy. Hello. I love how the movie handled its story and themes of trauma and evil. I saw myself in a lot of these characters dealing with trauma. It was comforting, and seeing Laurie beat Michael was inspiring. Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you found that angle to it. Okay. All right. I was curious. I was curious what the people who liked it, how they felt about it. But that's interesting. It's just not as, I just don't feel like it's as well written as the other two movies, where it's like, this makes sense. This makes sense why it's like someone dealing with trauma in a certain way. And I don't know. I couldn't get into it like that, unfortunately. I wish I could. There are so many good comments. I can't even keep up, guys. You guys are y'all are throwing some crazy shit in there. I love it. Blucka is here. What's up, Blucka? Longtime watcher of the streams, and we always enjoy having you here. Saying, how confident are we in the Exorcist trilogy after watching how they handled Halloween Kills payoffs in Ends? Whew, man. I don't know. You know, I kind of don't have any faith in the new Exorcist movie. I was already kind of skeptical about it because I just don't feel like David Gordon Green's style would work with The Exorcist. It works with Halloween because Halloween has always been a little inherently goofy, you know, like, obviously. But like, The Exorcist, it's not goofy at all. I mean, it's like so like straightforward psychological horror. I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, the fucking puke scenes are funny nowadays, but like back when that came out, that was fucking terrifying. That was gross. It was like the first time we saw it. Now you watch that scene, it's a little goofy. I'll give you that. But I feel like if they're gonna modernize The Exorcist, I don't know. I would say take it down a more serious path personally, with how popular like A24 and like Neon films, those psychological type of horror films, you could take it down that path all day, every day. That could be really cool. But making it sillier, like I feel like it's going to turn into like that Leslie Nielsen fucking parody of The Exorcist. I can't remember the name of that movie, but the one scene from that I remember is all the pea soup like being like that they're doing a joke about the puke again in that one. I just feel like it's going to turn into that. I'm kind of just not pumped for it. Gonna be honest, not pumped for that. I would much rather see David Gordon Green tackle another slasher franchise, or like maybe an even goofier IP, like like Critters or something like that. You know, dive into something crazy like that. Get the rights to that, Jason Blum. Fuck it. Get like Scott Derrickson or someone to do the fucking Exorcist. Don't David Gordon Green. I just don't know. Kind of a weird choice. The horror universe is spitting some facts, saying, I hate that people are attacking each other over this. Oh God, someone had death threats. Jeez. Yeah, listen, guys, it's just a movie. At the end of the day, it's just a movie. I'm seeing people put like tweets out there where they're like, if you liked this film, you're an idiot. Don't say that. That's ridiculous. Listen, if you liked this film, all the power to you. I'm glad you liked it. It's just a movie. No, but don't insult someone's intelligence just because they didn't like a movie. Like, that makes you look dumb. That makes you look dumb. If you liked this movie, fuck yeah. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. That makes me so happy. But like I said, I'm still gonna voice my opinion on how I feel about it. Not gonna hold back there. I'm gonna be honest about my opinion. But Love Lacey Mosley has thrown another $2 in there. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the support. How long till we get another reboot, do you think? You know, this movie is projected to make a lot of money. I don't know how much it's made so far from Thursday night previews. I'd have to do some research on that. But if I'm remembering correctly, Halloween Ends is supposed to make a healthy 50 to 55 million in its opening weekend, which is pretty damn good for a horror movie. So I would not be surprised if we got another one of these relatively soon, which in, you know, like the film world, that means probably like 4 or 5 years. I would not be surprised if that happens. But I can guarantee in the next 10 years, I say we get another something. Like there's at least going to be word of another Halloween film happening in 10 years, I will say. For sure. I would not be, if it's way earlier than that, I'm not going to be surprised either, like I said. But within the next 10 years, we will definitely get maybe another Halloween film. Maybe even another trilogy. I don't know. I'm kind of like, here's my thing about trilogies now, though, at this point. After watching this one, I almost feel like we should just keep giving directors one movie in IPs. One movie where they have to get it right and put all their eggs into that basket, and then they have to move on to something else. No more. Let's stop doing trilogies with everything, because Jurassic World is another good example of a trilogy that just like falls off hard as it goes along. I'm so worried about the Scream films. I really want to like Scream 6, and I hope it's better than 5. I don't know. I'm getting concerned about that one. I don't think we should keep doing this for requels, doing all these crazy trilogies for things that don't need to be trilogies. This was clearly not meant. This shouldn't have been a trilogy. Obviously, this should have been maybe 2 movies, but also maybe just 1 movie. Like, I love Halloween Kills all day, every day, but if we had just gotten Halloween 2018, there would be no complaints from this guy personally. So I just hope that moving forward with how we plan franchises and how we plan like sequels and all that, we don't just give someone like a shit ton of movies again. And I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that personally. It's almost every single time that's happened in the past like 15 years or so, they've like fallen off hard as you go down the line. So give it to different people, man. Give it to different people who are working their way up the ladder and want something big like that. Like David Gordon Green, to me, has shown us that like he's like, whatever, you know, about it. He's kind of like whatever about Halloween at this point, because he's now been given the reins to The Exorcist, and he's probably going to do a trilogy with that. And that's just like, what the fuck, dude? We don't need a trilogy of Exorcist films. One more? Okay. I'd be like, all right. You know, I'm not like pumped for that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy to me. Tryhard7 is throwing $2 in there saying, give Michael Bay Halloween and see what happens. Fuck it. Fuck it at this point. Let's see what happens. There would be a lot of explosions. I can guarantee you of that. That's hilarious. Give Michael Bay Halloween. Oh, I mean, he owns Platinum Dunes. So there is that, hilariously enough. I found that out recently, that Michael Bay's in charge of Platinum Dunes. It's like, what? That's so crazy. But yeah, thank you so much, Tryhard. I appreciate that. BJ Paulin's throwing another $2 in there. Thank you. Saying, hey Jake, love to hear your thoughts on my message. Oh shit, I missed your message, my dude. There it is. There we go. Here, let's get to it. I really am curious what the original plan was for the trilogy when it was all, when it was all set during one night, 100%. What would have been character arcs? I'm still thinking Terrifier 2 still on the brain. What would have been character arcs, the ultimate showdown? What would that have been more satisfying? What would that have looked like? Well, I think that yes, it probably would have been a little more satisfying just to have it all be one congruent story. I know a lot of people are liking this film because it's different, but you have to admit, if this was a trilogy where it was just all one long running story, all about Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, that'd be pretty cool to do that at least once in this franchise. Almost every time there's been something that kind of interrupts that or blurs it out and makes it about something else. The Thorn timeline, I guess, is the biggest example of that. I say trilogy because I'm typically referring to 4 through Curse, which is where all that stuff is introduced. But I think if they would have just done that one time, just one timeline where it's like, this is the just straight up Halloween feel throughout the entire thing, I would have been totally down for that. And I'm down for shit to get a little weird, but as long as it focuses on what a specific story is what's happening, this would have been the perfect way to do it. And I talked about what would the third movie would have been if Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills were still in existence. What would the third movie be? I would say just the next morning. Like what happens like November 1st? I don't call it that, but what would November 1st look like when Michael Myers is still running around town and he ends the like the movie third act is like him going to sleep essentially, and then he fucking gets like attacked by Laurie Strode. They have their final battle. The whole movie could be like at daytime, which would have been really cool. Give it like this midsummer aesthetic that I think would have been fucking sick. I don't know. I think that would have been cool to do like a daytime Halloween film personally for the third entry. That's like kind of what I think I would do. I don't know what they would do though. That's a good question. There probably was still a time jump considering that Laurie Strode was still like injured in Halloween Kills. You can't just have her be injured again in another movie. That would be kind of boring, I would think. So would it have been more satisfying? Probably, if it was all in one night, because it would have to be a consistent story throughout, you know? So yeah, probably would have been more satisfying. I know a lot of people liked this new one though for being different. So if that's your bag, all the power to you, like I said. Juliana Smiler is here too. Thank you so much for the $5, Juliana. I appreciate that a whole lot. Saying happy Friday from the Smilers. Hope you have a great weekend. You too, Smiler Clan. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Go see Halloween Ends on Peacock. Don't see it in the theaters. Watch it on Peacock. Watch it on Peacock. Justin Proper is throwing $5 in there as well. What's up, Justin? How's it going? Saying I'm thinking of starting a sequel support group for creeping fans. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tearing up here. I need it. I need the support, Justin. Thank you. I feel for you, Jake. I'm in the same way. Let me know if you're down to stream next week. Justin, I saw your message. I just have not had time to reply to it. It's been a busy day for Bird Person here. But I will not be able to do Tuesday, just to answer your question now. Tuesday's unfortunately not a good day for me. Doing some pickups for Red Right Hand that day. That's our Scream fan film, by the way, if you're new here. Doing a little Scream fan film coming out in December. I'm excited for that. Justin, hell yeah. I feel you though. I need a little group therapy after that one. But thanks for being in the stream, Justin. We will absolutely stream at some point next week. Just not Tuesday. But thanks for the $5, Justin. Thank you. Now, with all of that being said, there was some cool things in this, like John Smith is pointing out the John Carpenter Easter eggs, which was great. You know, we had the Thing on the TV, which I think was sweet. The entire plot line of the movie was Christine. I believe they're watching Assault on Precinct 13 at the Radio Tower, if I'm remembering correctly. I watched this movie once so far, and then I watched half of it last night again on Peacock. I believe they're watching Assault on Precinct 13, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe. Maybe I want to say, but that's cool and all, but like those are just nuances to me. You know, like those are nuances. Those are cool and all, but they're not like, you know, a good story. You have to have a few fundamentals. You got to have the fundamentals before you add the nuances. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have like solid story about like Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. You got to have character development for your mainstay characters. This was promised to be a more intimate film with us, and you know, two of the main characters were barely even in the film. I don't know. It was not an intimate film at all. I don't understand that. It's bizarre to me. Like Lindsay Wallace, for instance, we haven't touched on her yet. She is barely in this film at all. I don't even know why she was kept alive in Kills. Why didn't they should have just killed her in the last movie, honestly, if they were gonna just do nothing with her character here. There was no character development with her or Hawkins throughout this entire movie. I think it's arguable that there was character development with Laurie and Allison, but also not really. Like they kind of devolved those characters into just side characters, which is so bizarre. I don't know, but there was absolutely no development for fucking Lindsay Wallace and Hawkins, two characters that they kept alive for some reason, but I can't see the reason why. I don't get it. It's crazy, man. Justin, holy shit, you are speaking my goddamn mind. I hope Radio Silence is taking notes so that Scream doesn't happen the same way. Don't do Ghostface dirty. Don't do my person Ghostface dirty, because Ghostface can be anyone. So I completely agree. I really hope they are taking notes. I thought Scream 5 was going to be much more of a focus on making fun of Halloween 2018, which would have been pretty funny, I think. But they were like, yeah, we'll make fun of Star Wars instead. Odd choice, but I agree. I really hope they focus on making Scream 6 good, man. I need it to be good at this point. I really do. I really want it to be good. I'm getting scared now, though. Getting scared. Justin, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you for the support. I can't wait to stream, my dude. Can't wait to talk about this live with you. Thank you. Izzy is throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much, Izzy. Appreciate the support. Saying, okay, but Sandra surviving kills was a choice. Yeah. This was pointless too, in my opinion. I think Sandra being alive was kind of took away from one of the cooler kills in all of Halloween Kills. You kind of ripped that away from us with this movie. Made me kind of sad. I don't really understand the point of keeping her alive. It was just sad to see her still alive and having to deal with all that. And it was purposeless. It was like, there's no point to doing that. You could have just had her sister character be angry and say, my sister Sandra died because of you, Laurie. Like, that's it. You didn't have to have the actress come back, and I don't know. It was bizarre to me. Weird choice. Maybe if she had played a bigger role, excuse me, a bigger role in the overall plot, I would have been okay with it. But she didn't. Like, same thing with Hawkins and same thing with Lindsay. I don't know why they're in this movie. It's almost like you could have cut all of that out to focus more on developing the other characters that they randomly decided to focus on. I don't know, man. It's wild. I would have at least I would have been okay with the Corey stuff too if it just wasn't the whole movie. Like, I'm fine with them trying out something new, and they need it. Listen, I'll go back to a point that I talked about a lot when we were bringing up, like, what the fuck are they going to do in this movie? Like, what is the Corey thing? What the fuck? Corey should have been used as a device to bring Michael Myers back to Laurie Strode, because this franchise has made it unbelievably clear that Michael Myers is not going after Laurie Strode. Maybe that was the case in the 1978 movie, but in this canon, that's not exactly the case. So that to me is cool. That's like, okay, that's kind of sick. But if you're going to go that route, write in some kind of catalyst to bring these two characters together. That could have taken up, like the second act of the movie. I'd be okay with that, personally, if like everything we got with Corey was like the middle of the movie, and there were some inklings of setup in the first act that lead into it. I'd be okay with that, but they just did not develop our main characters enough. That's my biggest thing about it. Rawhead Nick is here. What's up, Nick? Holy shit, you're fucking jacked, my guy. God damn. Careful where you're going with all those muscles. God. Holy shit. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. But yeah, no, I don't know. I really wanted to like this movie at the end of the day, but I don't think I really did. I don't think I'm gonna. This is probably the only Halloween film I'm not gonna buy, which makes me really sad. I wanted to have a full collection on the shelf, but I see no point to watching this movie again. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it again this, after we get done streaming tonight to be able to talk about it a little more throughout the weekend. But besides that, after this weekend, I just don't see myself ever rewatching this film. It really has no rewatchability, I don't think. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait. I'm eventually saving up to get that fucking box set that has Curse of Michael Myers on 4K and all that. That looks pretty good. It has Curse and H2O and Resurrection as well. I'm kind of whatever about Resurrection. I almost wish that wasn't a part of it, but I still got to get it. You know what I mean? That those 4Ks are really nice. Got to save up and get that though for sure. John Smith is saying, Jake, watch it drunk. You know what, John? Maybe I'll just I can't dox myself like that. Never mind. Not gonna say that. I might get a little inebriated with something and watch the film, and maybe it'll be way better. You know what? I'll give you my stoned review of it. I'll give you my stoned review of Halloween Ends. I bet it's a completely different film too. No. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just, this movie, speaking of being stoned, this movie comes off to me as like David Gordon Green and the writers. They just had a smoke sesh. They watched a shit ton of John Carpenter movies, and they brought us this, and conceptually cool idea, you know, and I love the love letter to John Carpenter. He's one of my all-time favorite directors. Hell yeah. But man, I feel like this movie had no focus. It had no like point to it. I don't know. It was weird. Old School is saying, throwing $2 in there. Old School, thank you so much. Saying I liked Ends because I can really relate to Corey. Oh, okay. You know, I see that. I see that too. I've had a few people say they could relate to Corey, and that's interesting. That's interesting to me. I don't know. I feel like that was my biggest problem with Corey is I couldn't relate to him. I couldn't feel like I couldn't love the guy. And I feel like if I did love the guy, I would like this movie a lot more. Like I would probably be on here defending it right now. And I would see a lot more of you being like, dude, what the heck, bro? Nah, I'm kidding. But Old School, I'm really glad you liked it though. And I'm glad you related to Corey as a character. I wish I could get more into it, but I guess I don't know. I failed to see what was relatable about him, but I'm glad that you made that connection though. That makes me really happy. Thank you for the $2 and thanks for talking with me. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Carter Man 7 is throwing $5 in there. Thanks for being a member once again, Carter Man 7. Saying, did nobody own a damn pickup truck in that? I'm not going to say that on stream, but that's funny. Why the heck are we tying a body to a Ford Focus? I'm sorry. That just really strikes me as that strikes me as really funny. Yeah, that's a bizarre choice. That's just really funny to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a goofy scene for sure. I'll take honestly, I'll take the Corey stuff all day. I just wish they had gotten the fight down between your two main characters. You what do I have the poster for this? Let me see if I got the Halloween Ends poster, which, doesn't have Corey Cunningham on it. I almost just feel like I was lied to, I feel like they lied to us with the marketing and we're like, yeah, actually, here's what's really going to happen. We're going to do this whole new thing. This is the poster for the movie. This is it. Here you go. Here's one of the many posters. Lori and Michael. I see no Corey there. Maybe if Corey was on that poster, I'd feel a little better about this movie. But I don't know, man. Just advertise what it is. If you advertise this movie, why didn't they advertise it as being a movie about a brand new character? It makes me question that. Maybe if they had advertised it as that, I would like it more and I would know what I was getting myself into. But they lied. They just straight up lied to us. I don't know. I just don't care for that type of marketing. Lying to people. It's the same thing with Godzilla versus Kong, in my opinion. They promised us one will fall. And then, Godzilla fell, not Godzilla, King Kong actually did fall over in the movie, but I was thinking he would die. One of them would die, and that doesn't happen. They just kind of team up and now they're friends. They had how you ever play Mortal Kombat and you instead of doing a fatality, you do the friendship thing and they hold hands. That's kind of what happens in Godzilla versus Kong. But, they spent $200 million to make that happen. And I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. Nightfall Cinema is throwing $5 in there. Nightfall Cinema, thank you so much for the $5. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you. Saying Corey's presence ruined what could have been a fantastic remake of Bob's Death. Yeah, I agree with you there too. That was a solid fucking kill from Michael, and I don't know, just kind of Corey Cunningham's just kind of watching him and freaking out against this glass window. Or glass door. I mean, it's bizarre. 44 years of hope and longing down the drain. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. These characters were also just not very developed. These characters specifically, the redheaded lady and Dr. Mathis. Excuse me for not remembering her name, but I didn't. The one character moment we got from these two was the redhead lady kind of talking a lot to Allison. That's really all I can tell you about both of their characters. There was just not too much in-depth characteristic shit going on. Oh. Your boy's been talking for 3 hours, so give me a bit of a break if I need to do a little stretching, okay? No, but Nightfall Cinema, I agree. I think that that kill could have been a lot more dope if it was played out a little longer. I wish we had gotten a whole scene between them. There was this very quick little conversation, but that was really it. I didn't even know that they were, bumping uglies before that fucking scene. I never got that throughout the film. And then just randomly they're going to each other's house and they're like, oh, it's time to have some champagne by the fire outside. Oh, I have lots of money and check out my pool in the backyard. Dr. Mathis is being this like playboy, essentially, this silver fox. And then he just like, I don't know. It's pointless to me. I feel like that scene would have been way more dope if we had gotten like some just an extended sequence with both of them where we learn a little more about them. I feel like I knew nothing about Dr. Mathis by the time he got killed, and they were just like building this guy up from the past movie onward, and just kind of goes nowhere. I don't know. It's weird, man. I agree. I think they should have either went all in. But Nightfall, to answer your question, I feel like they should have either went all in with the Laurie and Michael fight or all in with the Corey story, personally. If they would have went one or the other, I would have liked this film a lot more, even if it was like, you know, supposed to be the final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. But if it's a good movie focusing on a brand new thing, it's still a good movie at the end of the day. This is just kind of rushed, you know? So I don't know. Just my opinion. But Nightfall Cinema, thank you so much for the $5. I greatly appreciate that. You're the best. Thank you. M is talking about the Halloween 3 title cards. They were kind of nice. Yeah, the Halloween 3 title cards were pretty cool. I just wish, this movie had completely leaned into that whole idea of doing something new instead of just tentatively sticking their toe in the pool, It's crazy. Andy is here. What's up, Andy? What's up? Saying, I'm glad Sandra survived. I felt bad for her character in Kills, but she may be suffering and wished she died. But damn. Yeah, that was pretty sad. It made me sad. It just didn't feel like it was. It felt like it was like mean. You know what I mean? It felt like it was like mean spirited to show us that in a lot of ways. I don't really think that was like. There's no purpose in having her come back. It was just really mean spirited for that character, and I feel bad more than anything. It's like there are some fates worse than death, and there you go. There's the fucking right there. It's a great example of it. This is like awful, but I almost wish she had died so she didn't have to suffer the way she was for those 4 years that she's still alive. It's like, oh God, that's awful. I agree with that, Andy. Yeah, it makes me sad. I'm glad she's alive, but it's like, ugh, rough. Jake listens to Bumpin' Uglies. I've heard of this band. I can't name you like a song off the top of my head, but I definitely have heard of that band. Oh my God. I honest to God, I swear to God, I just looked these up the other day. I want to say they're like alternative, right? I feel like I've been listening to a lot of alternative music more or less lately, and I feel like these guys have come up when I was listening to stuff. Interesting. Okay. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to look into the Bumpin' Uglies. Sometimes on YouTube, you probably shouldn't say bonin, but I just did. But Bumpin' Uglies, that it's a little more, a little grosser. So, yeah, YouTube is oddly okay with the grosser stuff, but you start saying shit like shit and fuck and all that, they're like, nah, fam, don't be doing none of that. But you can talk about Bumpin' Uglies and throwing up black goo into someone's mouth. I actually got demonetized one time for pretending to throw up a bunch of chocolate sauce before at the start of a video. Yeah, this page gets pretty weird sometimes. Let me tell you, it gets pretty weird if you're new here. Oh shit! Halloween. David Gordon Green returning to the Halloween franchise for a 4th installment. Allison is pregnant with the Boogeyman's son. No, dear God, dear God. That's funny. I love it. And Halloween Ends News is spitting some fucking facts. No one is talking about Julian, like the best character, because every other character was wasted in the Halloween Ends. The hot take, but I think Julian may be one of the best characters now, which is like fucking crazy. But like he has one of the best arcs. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Julian's fucking like he's hilarious in the first 2 movies, But like, I just was not expecting for him to be like one of my favorite characters. And I'm like, hell yeah. When I saw him on screen, I was like, oh my God, it's Julian. Hell yeah. I fucking love Julian. Julian's awesome. That kid's fucking amazing, man. I hope he goes on to be in more like horror movies, just playing like a kid or something. I want to see more of Julian. Put him in Friday the 13th. He's one of the kids that that goes to the summer camp. That would be fucking awesome. Julian's in like one scene. He's in like one scene, you know? He's funny. I love it. I really just popped in to see a potential Halloween the Boogie Child pitched. The Boogie Child. Oh my god. Oh yeah. If this was Dream Warriors, we need Dream Master next, and then then we'll have the Boogie Child. So the Boogie I can't even say that without laughing. The Boogie Master is up next. Yes, Locked. I love it. Lighting Ghost is throwing $5 in there into the old pot again. Thank you so much, Lighting Ghost. Saying, am I tripping, or was that Sandra in a wheelchair? If so, how is she alive? Yeah, so it was Sandra, and I don't know how she could have been alive after taking a light bulb to the neck. I don't think you like. Could you like? Is there any medical professionals here? We have 169 people in the chat. Medical professionals. Could someone survive that? Like a whole fucking tube going into your neck. And she gets stabbed, right? Yeah, she gets like stabbed and all that. I'm curious if you guys, if there's any nurses or doctors or just people in med school. I don't know. Who's out there? Any horror fans? No? Nothing? Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything. But if someone puts something in there, I'm actually really curious about this. But yeah, I don't know. I really thought she was dead. James A. Janice is going to have a fucking... a time with this movie. Let me tell you, with covering Halloween Ends and being like, well, sorry, Sandra didn't die. Gotta revise my Halloween kill count. I feel bad for him. Love Dead Meat. Love him. Oh, if you guys don't watch Dead Meat, you probably do. I mean, let's be honest. If you found this channel, you've probably seen Dead Meat. Top tier, top shelf horror channel. I'm like the bottom shelf, you know. I'm like the bottom shelf. I'm getting a little, you know. I'm like the $1 Red Bull shots at the bar. Dead Meat's like the top shelf fucking Patron and all that shit. But hey, I'm just enjoying that. I just appreciate that you guys come to get the $1 Red Bull shots every now and then. Oh shit. Oh, funny stuff. Chrissy Blackwell, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I was so excited, out of my seat, happy to see Julian. Honestly, me too. Like, that was a big high point for me. I wasn't too big a fan, Halloween Ends, but I did really like I did really like seeing Julian. That's a new positive I'm adding to it. So Hell yeah, Chrissy. I love Julian. Is such a standout in that first movie. That's one of my favorite side characters out of everybody from this whole franchise. I really love that whole sequence between him and Vicky. It's nice. You almost think like, oh, Vicky's kind of a jerk to this nice kid. What the hell? And then she's like, actually, you're my favorite kid I babysit. And you're like, oh man, I like these guys a lot. And then they killed Vicky, and it makes you feel really bad. See, all you had to do was do that again here. I probably would have liked this movie. Very, very simple stuff. Good stuff. Andy, that's hilarious. Corey's mom was hella sus when she kissed his mouth after slapping him. LMAO, such a weird character. Yeah, Andy, you gotta watch Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I mean, that character is ripped right from that movie and placed here in Halloween Ends. It's the same character as the aunt from that movie. You gotta watch it. It's bizarre. It's interesting that I will say this. I'm glad that they pulled from some obscure shit, but I just wish the whole movie wasn't Christine. Like, if someone came out of the woodworks, right, and was like, hey guys, Halloween Ends is basically just this weird slasher movie from the middle of the 80s or something, I'd be like, okay, but like, that's not super popular, and they probably did it better here. They didn't do Christine better here. I can tell you that much. Christine is a much better movie than this, but I don't know. That's just my thinking. I will agree with you though. Very, very sus. Very, very, very sus. A sussy baka, as some people would say. Yeah. Kyle is saying Kyle likes the movie, saying really enjoyed this movie compared to the 90s Halloween movies. Resurrection is probably still at the bottom of my list, but I'm also just not a big fan of this one. I do like H2O is a good movie though. H2O, it's simple, but it's good. It's got the worst looking Michael Myers for sure. I mean, that's without an argument. I wonder if do I have a picture of the H2O mask? Man, when you like stop and you look at the H2O mask, man, it's wild. Let me tell you. Some of the shots of this thing is pretty funny. You know, at least we didn't get this. You know what I mean? Like it could have been worse. It could have been much worse. Look wise, I did really like Michael when he was on screen. You know, like the very few minutes he was on screen, it was awesome. But he's just not in the movie. You know. I see a lot of people saying Halloween Ends is better than Halloween Ends is better than H2O. I don't know about that. I mean, H2O is not great. It's not my favorite from the entire franchise. It's definitely middle of the road, but I don't know if it's the worst. I don't know if Halloween Ends was better though. I don't know. I think I would definitely put H2O above Halloween Ends personally. Because at least we get Michael killing people. You know what I mean? At least we get some kills. They're a little uncharacteristic for Michael, I'll give you that. It does feel a little screamy at times, but it's not entirely that. You know what I mean? It's not a murder mystery. It's not a, well, actually, Resurrection kind of makes it a murder mystery, doesn't it? But it's not that. Originally, it was not meant to be that. So I appreciate that it has like a certain style to it, but it's not the exact same thing. That's what I like about it. Personally, just my thoughts. All right, everybody, we're gonna go for another. I think I'm gonna go for another 10 minutes because I'm not gonna lie. If I'm gonna do the Lethal Collective at 6 o'clock here, which if you guys are not subscribed to that, we'll be going live in an hour over there. Your boy's probably gonna need a little bit of rest. I gotta rest my voice a little bit. Holy shit! But I'm gonna stay on for as long as physically possible because holy shit, we have so many people here. It's awesome. I love talking with you guys. This is sick. Hello. Mama KillJoy's here. What's up? Mom, I have like, look at all these people watching me.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Hello, everybody. I just have a little reminder. Tomorrow is Sweetest Day. Don't forget your sweeties.
It's Sweetest Day, everybody.
Okay. Love you
Sweetest
all.
Day. Bye, Mom. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Oh, shit. Great stuff. Sweetest Day tomorrow, everybody. Don't forget, whoever your sweet is, get them something. Get them a little something. Make sure to do that. We take Sweetest Day very seriously in this house. Lighting Ghost is throwing $5 into the chat. Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that again. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you to everybody for the super chats on the stream, by the way. You all are the fucking best. Love you all. Thank you. Lighting Ghost, though, saying, love Julian. He had me in tears with send Dave first. Yes. Send Dave first. I don't want you to die. Fuck Dave. Yeah, that's funny. First they were going to smoke weed. Yeah, I know what Alakazam means. Funny shit. I love Julian. He's great. That whole conversation is very well written in that first movie. Very, very funny stuff. I dig it, Lighting Ghost. Absolutely. I just wish, I just really wish more of the characters in this were like some of the side characters in the past two movies. Like even like Big John and Little John, you know? Like I fucking love them as characters compared to some of the nothing characters we got in this movie, you know? It's a shame. It's a big old shame. You want to see Ellen Ripley come back? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I would kill for some more Sigourney Weaver, man. Holy shit. That you want to talk about my all-time favorite final girl, dude. Oh, it's kind of tough. Like obviously Sidney Prescott's up there, obviously Laurie Strode's up there, but man, tell you what, my first the first like girl I was like, "Oh man." It was Sigourney Weaver. I'm like, "Damn. Love me some Alien and Aliens, dude. Solid movies. Sigourney Weaver's an amazing actress too. I love that she's just like kind of doing like little smaller roles nowadays too. It's cool. I would love to see her back though. You know, I'd love to see her back doing fucking, oh my God, doing Ripley again. Shit, I'd lose my mind. I was not too hot on the last two Alien movies, but I know Fede Alvarez, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is doing the next one. He's responsible for the Evil Dead remake, the Don't Breathe movies, and he was a producer on TCM 2022. So, to be fair. All right, back to Halloween. Sorry, I'm just getting excited. Getting so much good shit to talk about. Oh my God. Malik is here. What's up, Malik? What's up? Did you think it was odd Allison didn't notice Corey in overalls and Michael's mask right next to his dying body? Yeah, it was pretty weird. Yeah, strange. You would think that, you know, the guy that killed her parents should be a little freaked out seeing that, you know? I don't know. Just a thought. But yeah, I agree. Kind of strange. The procession scene, the scene that leads to the junkyard, felt like the Avengers Endgame when we see people from the old movie walking. That's hilarious. Oh my god. They should have had some Doctor Strange portals open up, and then like Danielle Harris comes out, everybody. Like Rob Zombie's even there. Like he's just Rob Zombie. Like it's just literally Rob Zombie in universe shows up. On your left, right? That's that's great. Lighting Ghost throwing out a great, very underrated final girl. Girl, and You're Next was badass. Hell yeah. You know, I got to tell you though, Lauren Lavera's Sienna from Terrifier 2. That's in my top 10 all-time favorite final girls. I genuinely think she gives an amazing performance in that movie. I hope she does like a shit ton of other horror movies in the future. Like she was amazing. If you guys have not seen Terrifier 2 yet, go see it if you can. If not, of course, it'll be on streaming very soon, in like almost less than a month at this point, I think. They promised us November release date on Screambox. If you want to see Terrifier 2, I can't fucking wait to watch that again. I really want to see it in theaters again if I can this weekend, but your boy's busy. I will say though, The Girl and You're Next, very underrated final girl though, for sure. You're Next, if you guys have not seen that either, looking for a good slasher film, there you go. Banger movie. Lighting Ghost, thank you for the $10. Thank you. I appreciate that a whole lot. The sewer scene where Corey got the mask was absolutely bad. Looked like two brothers fighting over something. Yeah, I agree, Jerry. Yeah, that's like how you can't just have Michael Myers get overpowered by something like I know I've already said it, but it's like, how do you have Michael Myers get overpowered by this 20-something when in the last movie you have like fucking all these townsfolk of different shapes and sizes trying to take him down, and he just effortlessly is like, fuck all these guys, kills them. He struggles a little bit in kills for sure. There's that moment where you think they're gonna take him down, but then he's like, fuck this, you know, slashing and karate. Why am I karate chopping? He's definitely not karate chopping, I'll tell you that, but he does kill all these people. And it's just like, you can't tell me that he can't overpower a 20-something, even in a weakened state, you know? It's like, Michael Myers is beyond man at a certain point, you know? Laura was amazing. Hell yeah. Lauren Lavera, man. Fuck yeah. Dude, Sienna is amazing. 10 out of 10 final girl. I'm so glad they wrote a final girl that was as good as the antagonist in that movie, too. That was something that was lacking in the first Terrifier, and bam! Fucking killed it in the sequel, man. Oh, that's my favorite horror film of the year, honestly. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that's number one, man. Fucking killer movie. Lighting Ghost, thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Jake Davis is saying, years of build up for a 30-second kitchen fight. Michael got his ass beat. And when Corey's jacked, Michael's mask was so goofy to me, man. I know. I don't know. I understand why people like it for being something different. You know, I'm always, you know me, guys. I'm always down for something different in sequels. Hell yeah. But I just wish they had they had a task at hand here that they had to take care of, and they were like, yeah, screw that. Let's do something else. You know, I don't know. Ronin Samurai 95 is saying, on your left, Michael, except you can't see me because you only have a right eye. Oh, what a burn towards Michael. Ronin Samurai, damn. Holy crap. I get confused with your Next and Ready or Not. Both great movies. Tell you what, oddly similar titles and oddly similar premises too, which I think is interesting about both of those films. I really like both. Man, that would be a good versus video. You know, put those two up against each other. Ooh, okay, everybody in the chat, Ready or Not or You're Next. Let's see it. How do you guys feel about those two? Put that in the chat down below. Ready or Not, You're Next. Which one? I want to see some votes. You know what? Let me see if I can put a poll in. We'll start a poll because I'm curious. I know this is Halloween, you know? I know this is a Halloween stream. But, you know, if you don't get a little off topic, if you don't want to have a little fun, come on. What are you doing with your... What are you doing if we're not having a little fun, talking a little crazy shit here and there? All right, let's see. I'm still new to this, so, you know, bear with me here. These polls are I don't know how to do them. I'm going to be completely honest. But I'm going to try to figure it out, and if I can... Oh, so help me God. It's going to be wild. There's usually a button. I'm not seeing the button. Yeah, I got nothing there. Okay, but I see some we're seeing a vote for Ready or Not. You're next easily. Ooh, okay. Ready or Not because of Samara Weaving. Good point. I love Samara Weaving. You're next. Okay. It's pretty 50-50. Love both. Damn, hard choice. Ooh. I agree. I think this is pretty tough, honestly. Ready or Not. Okay. Yeah, honestly though, that's kind of tough, man. That's like pretty 50-50 for me. I don't know which one I like more, but both are good. Both are really good for kind of different reasons, but like I said, similar concepts. So I love the ending of Ready or Not, but I think I like the overall movie more of You're Next. But yeah, at the same time, Ready or Not, it's a lot of fun. That's really tough. I'm leaning towards You're Next, but like at the same time, Ready or Not's a fucking banger, dude. I love that movie. I just wish You're Next had a good final showdown. I didn't really, the final, I definitely like the showdown better in Ready or Not, for sure. I agree with you there. I didn't really like how once the tables turned, it got really predictable. Good movie though. The twist is phenomenal. Tell you what. Villain Killing Dylan, I will say this, if you have not seen Ends yet, go watch it. Make your own opinion. I don't want to, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I don't want to influence your opinion. I have some strong opinions on this movie. Go watch it. Go watch Halloween Ends and come back. Tell me what you think, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. I don't know. It sounds like you haven't seen it, so I'm like, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for you. Go watch it. Go check it out. Tell me what you think. I'm a YouTuber. I can't even figure out how to do a poll on my own streams. Damn. What the hell, man? What the hell? I know there's a way to do it. I'll figure it out at some point, but I'm like, I can't figure it out. And I gotta keep it going. But you know what, everybody, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a day because I do gotta get moving on the Lethal Collective stream. Make sure they're all going good. Everything's going good there. Holy shit. And everybody, I do want to say this. We are streaming on the Lethal Collective at 6 o'clock, which is in an hour, whatever time that is for you. Just 59 minutes from now, we will be live over on the Lethal Collective page. That is the group channel I run with a bunch of my buddies who are also YouTubers. And holy shit, it's a good time over there. We're once again going to be talking about Halloween Ends. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking Halloween Ends. Your discourse or love for this film, whatever it is, I love and respect it. Hell yeah. You guys are fucking awesome. I love talking with you guys, and I'm going to peace out because your boy needs to take a little break before I start talking and going nuts again. Hell, I might even go live again tonight. Fuck it. I don't know, man. I'm just fucking digging it. Love talking with you guys. Extron, we're going live in 59 minutes. 59 minutes. I don't know if they set up the stream yet, which is why I'm going off to talk and figure all that out. So, love you all. Peace out. Don't forget to kill it out there. You guys know the drill.